Okay.
If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah. If I find my way home, yeah. Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, don't you still amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the moment for those who.
1, 2, here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
But I promise you, baby, I'll always be
what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another fabulous edition of the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha, here to educate and entertain you for 2 hours on some pretty cool Gunpla building stuff. So hopefully you are entertained and learn stuff. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. So, happy Friday. For those of you that it is still Friday. Some of you may be living in the future. It may be Saturday for you, so you're lucky. For me, though, here living in the States, I have a 3-day weekend coming up, you guys. It's Labor Day here in the States on Monday, so there will be no stream on Monday. Wah, wah. Sorry, guys. Taking the day off. Got a 3-day weekend. I'm going to enjoy it, right? So, FYI, programming note, no stream on Monday. So, but let's get down to some business, shall we? First and foremost, like we always do, you can win this model right here if you donate to the Gunpla Talk fundraiser / giveaway. One lucky donor will win that very model, and I just got word from a very good friend of mine that this person will be donating some additional prizes. So, and they're going to be somewhat special and somewhat rare prizes, I might add. So, those will be given out additionally to some other lucky donors. So if you haven't donated, English, if you haven't donated, now's probably going to be a good time for you to do it because you don't want to miss what's coming. Like I said, just got word on this yesterday, I think. Sitting there chatting with a friend of mine from overseas, and yeah, I think you guys will really like what the additional prizes. They're not obviously as near as big as the perfect grade, but they're pretty special. I will not say any more. I will let the mystery linger, and I will let you wonder what they might be. So anyway, yeah, donate to the Gunpla Talk fundraiser, please. It is an awesome fundraiser. It's going to a good charity. It's for the National Alopecia Areata Foundation, and Carlo Castro over there on Facebook. Great question. He's asking for the link. GoFundMe.com/Gunpla Talk. You can find it on the Gunpla Talk Facebook page. You can also check it on the, I have some little ad dealies running in the corner when we switch over to 2-camera. The link is going to be in there as well. Man, it's for a great cause, so make yourself feel good. GoFundMe.com/Gunpla Talk. All one word. So, it's a good cause. Donate. And if you can donate, if you are not in the position to donate, and we understand because times are tough for everybody, give us a share. Shares are free. Shares are love, guys and girls. Yeah, share us to your Instagram page, man, your Facebook page. Share us with your friends. Share us on your favorite Gunpla, Facebook group. Make a video out of it. Something, whatever it takes. Share it out. Because the more eyes get on it, the more attention it draws, the more money we can raise for an amazing charity. So, do that for me. That would be amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get some other business out of the way. Tonight, Reapers. Yes, my favorite shirt. It's got the Annapolis deal right here on the sleeve. You can own this shirt too. You can represent for the Reapers if you would like. Hit up childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top, and you can buy all sorts of cool Reapers gear, as well as some other Gundam swag, hats, t-shirts, bags, etc. So, in addition to that, the book that we're going to take a look at tonight is a good one, and also the tools that I'm going to be using as well can be found in the Amazon link just below on YouTube, and onto the side, or maybe up at the top on Facebook, depending on how you're viewing it. Click it. You will find the tools and the books and all that already sourced for you, so you don't have to go hunting and pecking on Amazon, maybe picking up the wrong thing. That would be bad. So hit that up. It helps the stream as well. So do that for me. That would be amazing. So without further ado, let's take a look at the book for the evening. And here we are. Ba-doom. There we go. Okay, so this is KSB, the Calamity Sketchbook. Now, you guys have heard me talk about Calamity Luca Zampriolo. Pretty well-known mechanical kind of mech designer, artist, Renaissance man aficionado. Amazing guy, very talented, very, very talented. Was fortunate enough to kind of know Luca back in the day when I had the Child of Mecha forums back in the early mid-2000s. He was actually on there, and he, you know, obviously was not as well known as he is now, but man, he interacted with us and all that good stuff. I mean, he was part of the family. So it's really, really cool to see kind of, I don't know, one of our own reach the popularity that Luca has, you know? So he's got multiple books out, which is amazing. Obviously, his, you know, the garage kits that he puts out, videos and things of that nature. You know, he wines and dines and travels in every place, you know, all over the world, to conventions and stuff, Comic-Con and all that. So he's a big deal. Right? So we're going to be taking a look at the Calamity Sketchbook, Mech in Ink. And this is actually kind of a decently sized book. This is not the monster tome that we looked at on Wednesday, the Overwatch book. This is kind of a nice, you know, thinnish looking book. This is about a $20 book, so it's very, very reasonable. Very friendly entry point into the world of Calamity. And let's take a look and see what's in here. Like I said, this is a sketchbook, so you know it's going to have his sketches in it, right? Really, 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 really great reference in terms of mechanical detail, armoring, reinforcement of said armor, things of that nature. Man, Luca is just, he packs so much detail into his works, right? And these are all just kind of sketches and finished renderings and things of that nature. Man, this is really, really, really good stuff. You can sit and look at the details alone for just hours. So good stuff here. And as we go through, I'm sure that you will see some of these renderings, some of these art pieces, and you will recognize them because there are some in here that he's made into full-fledged models. Garage kits, one-offs, what have you. But man, he is a true Renaissance man. I guess it's fitting that he's Italian at that point. So here is a really cool kind of upper body for a robot, kind of a mech, if you will. I mean, just look at the pistons and the gearing and all the sorts of panels and rivets and panel lines and vents and doohickeys and the reinforcement lines on these pieces of armor, and it's just amazing. Really, really good reference to take ideas off of, right? You know, and there are a lot of sketches in here that are just kind of quirky, that you've never seen him kind of flesh out or anything like that before. But man, just overall, just an awesome, you know, kind of look into, I guess, the thought process of a well-known modeler and mech designer, just a true artist, really. So you kind of see some of these, you know, these double-barreled kind of cannon-looking mechs, and he's made something very similar, and it seems like these are kind of evolutions to that, right? Here's some, you know, a quirky-looking art piece here. I don't even know what this is all about, to be honest with you. It's just got a lot going on, obviously, and then you've got you know, some really interesting things going on this page. I mean, you've got little detail pieces all across the top, you know, just itty bitty things, and then it kind of progresses on down to kind of a more finished look down here. Just really cool. You know, and here he even does like human character studies and things, which is pretty cool. Renaissance man, if you will. Now, here's an example of bringing a piece of art to life. Luca, if you don't follow him, you really should. He has actually built this particular piece of artwork. He's actually built this into an actual physical model, and it looks amazing. It really does. I mean, down to the smallest bits of detail, like these springs in the pistons and things like that. All of these little just panel pieces and armor pieces and all this stuff. I mean, he has faithfully created this in a real deal model here. And I guess the name of this is the Wachtel. I don't know how to pronounce it. But here's just some different studies and the different parts and possibilities and things of that nature. Really cool stuff. And then, you know, then it kind of gets into some surreal looking sketches. I don't even know what that is. Some interesting things on these two pages, obviously. And then you kind of get back into a little bit more mech based. And these are interesting. These are kind of like, I don't know, like construction robot types of things. All very great inspiration for a project. So we'll just kind of zip through this thing. Like I said, it's not a big book. It's a very, I guess, consumable book very quickly. You can get through this, or you can take your time looking through these pages and really kind of obsess with the details and things of that nature. This page alone just has a ton of his little sketches on here. These are small, though. It is what it is. But it even, you know, what's funny is that he even goes into, you know, what he uses in terms of pens and stuff. So, like, fountain pens. He's got like a, I don't know, like a glossary of what he uses. And then he's got the pictures of those fountain pens as well, which is pretty interesting. If you're a fledgling artist out there, it's interesting to know what he uses. And he's got tips on filling said pens and, you know, how they write, line widths, instruments like papers and inks and stuff like that. Different drawing instruments and things. So, yeah, really cool book. Again, this is about a $20 book. Very attractive entry-level book for your budding inspirational library, if you will. So why don't you go pick it up? It's $20. Easy buy. Should be on Prime as well. So it's good stuff. Anywho, let's get caught up in the chat before we get to work here, shall we? Let's see. Here we go. Let's start from the very tippy top. All right, so GamerBud's with us. He says he finished snapping together his super custom Zaku F2000. Came with all the parts he needs to change it to a standard Zaku. He says he kind of wants to just see it. Yeah, why not, right? Blue Flash 1982 is over there saying good evening on Twitch. Howdy. Bailey's with us. As always, great support from Bailey. He says for some scratch building, he's doing some slicing into the wave plot plate with a millimeter grids printed right on it. Doesn't get any better than that. Nice. Nice. I need to get some of those. Let's see. Michael Gilchrist is with us. Hello, Michael. He says, lost a piece to my current model. Thanks to your class and streams, I was confident enough to make a replacement out of some styrene strip and chisel the panel line into. That's awesome. That is freaking awesome, dude. I love hearing that. I really, really do. I mean, because, you know, it just, I mean, it makes me feel good, obviously. But to know now that you have the skill set to make that happen in the future, you can even take it to another level and make all new parts. You know what I'm saying? So that's awesome to hear, Michael. Thank you for sharing that with me. That the feels warm and fuzzy. I'm telling you. That's awesome. Vincent Longa is with us. Welcome, Vincent. Good to see you. He says, glad I can make it for a live one. Cleaning up the master grade Psycho Zaku backpack parts after the first round of primer. Fun. Yeah, that's like my one of my least favorite parts of building. So I sympathies, I do. Let's see. Fudabayo is with us saying hello. Well, hello. Drummer Dude is with us. What's going on? Richard Ray has made it. Made it for a live show working on a resin rifle from Simp. Interesting. Simp, if you guys don't know, is also Side 3. They make some pretty impressive dress-up kits and things. So, good stuff. Let's see. Richard Ray also says, a little confused, no instructions. Well, that sucks. Edwin RSA is with us. He says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Edwin. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it as always. Excuse me. Drummer Dude says, yo, this looks like a badass book. Dude, it is a badass book. It's very fun to look at. And even just the sketches, some of them like aren't even like finished pieces, right? And they're still cool to look at and kind of dig into and get all those nice juicy details and everything. It's awesome. Bailey says, yeah, it's got the grime and grunge of Blomkamp with a slight bit of Ghibli whimsy, but more towards old school Fallout design. That is a pretty accurate representation. I dig that. I think that's spot on. Andrew Young is with us. College student is back on live. Unfortunately. We kid Andrew. Let's see. Let's see. Get through Andrew's talking. 01 Shield, finally going to watch the whole stream and going to build a real grade Zeta. Exciting. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. GamerBud, be careful if you transform the real grade Zeta. Broke the leg off mine. I was partially transforming it to apply decals. Yeah, the real grades are fragile. So that's why I stick with master grades. That's just my personal preference. But hey, if you like that size, if you like that series, go with it. That's what I say. Blue Flash 1982 says, I'll be working on tacking together a custom build this weekend so I can see what it will look like before I start cutting on it. Sweet. That's always exciting. That kind of putting together initially. Very, very cool. Very cool. Let's see. 01 Shield says going to try to break it in to make it easier. Excellent. Futubayoi I just love saying that. I'm sorry. Even if I'm not pronouncing it right, I like saying it. Working on a ground type high grade. I probably should revisit the master grade sometime this year, but most of my work this week has been on the Air Master. Interesting. Somewhat of a vintage kit. I like it. I like it. Ryan Remington is with us. Hello, Ryan. Thank you for joining us tonight. Appreciate that. Let's see. Blue Flash 1982. It's a 00 diver ace base model. Interesting. Robert LaFlash is with us again. Good to be back to see a full stream. Good to have you back. I appreciate you coming back to us, Robert. Always good to see you. 01 Shield, like the details, just got to remember not to throw it at a concrete slab. That's probably a good best practice. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Ryan Remington's, what's a good way to fabricate a V-fin? Yeah, you know, trial and error, sculpting. You know, you get some strips of plastic, you slap them together, and then you just start whittling the thing. If you can maybe salvage something from a scrapped kit or something like that, that would probably make the process easier for you. But it depends on the kind of look you're going for, really. Yeah, so it's very situational. Very situational. Let's see, GamerBud, since I never built a real grade before, that one I did not know some of them were so fragile, especially the Zeta. I'm going to be more careful and do a lot of research if I get any more real grades. Good call. Watch my man Zach's review. Zach Aurelius, a good friend of mine, obviously, on Gunpla Talk with me. Talk to him pretty much every day, along with the other boys on there. And, you know, he makes some pretty good review videos. So, yeah, check those out. Let's see. Drummer Dude, man, this makes me want to go home and work on my model. Stuck at work. Damn, that sucks. Well, you know, look at it this way. You're still here with us, and you can still watch and learn. So, yo, Joe, knowing's half the battle, right? So, all right. So let's see what's going on over there in the on Facebook. Let's see, Carlo Castro. Carlo, hopefully you got the link to that fundraiser. If not, let me know and I can repeat it for you. And then, let's see, another gentleman is with us, and unfortunately, I cannot read your name, but he says hi. So thank you for watching, sir. I appreciate that. That's amazing. Let's see. Great reviews by Zach, Robert LaFlash on YouTube. Yes. GamerBud, Zach Aurelius was the first reviewer I watched on Gundams. It's his fault I have so many kits now. Well, you know, with 80,000 subscribers, that's not necessarily surprising. Hopefully one day I'll catch up with him. I don't know. Maybe. So, let's see. Drummer Dude, very true, Tim. My last 2 weekends at this place until I start my new job. Well, congratulations, man. That's always exciting to kind of start a new job, new digs and stuff. That's congratulations, man. Let's see. Futubeoi. Sorry, I'm totally butchering your screen name on purpose now. I apologize. It's just fun to say. I guess Squee is on Facebook. Yes, Chris is on Facebook. Squee's Workbench. Squee, S-Q-U-E-E, apostrophe S, Workbench. Yeah, Squee's good, man. He's very talented. Very talented. Bailey says, my understanding is the real grade Zeta is particularly bad. It's the combo of transformation, which is generally bad in any scale, and then the extreme intricacy of real grade. It's probably pretty accurate. Yeah. But all things considered, the original Zeta sucked ass. The original master grade, that was terrible. And I don't get down on models too much simply because, you know, whatever is broke, I can usually fix it. But that model was shit. Shit. That model was terrible, you guys. Futubeoi meant the chat. Yeah, he might be on. I don't know. But yeah, he's somewhere. I didn't see if he was on in the chat, but oh, because there's more chat to scroll down to. I didn't see that. Shoot. Oh wow, there's a whole lot of other chat deals going on here. Shoot. Sorry guys on Facebook. I did not scroll down. That is my fault. Let's say hello to everyone. Carrie Bang Rebus is back with us. Hello, sir. In Malaysia right now is morning. Done shared. Sweet. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Caesar Mac just bought a high-res Wing Zero. Comes in tomorrow. That's exciting. That's a cool looking piece, man. I love the legs on that thing. They're kind of beefier than the normal one, and I just really dig it. It reminds me kind of like the what's it called? The Sinanju Stein Master Grade. It has sort of that feel to it. It's very cool. Brenson Teo is with us. He gives us a big old howdy. Thank you for watching, Brenson. William Wilms is with us over here on Facebook. On the way out to go shopping for Gundam models and paint. We'll be jumping in and out as the day goes along. Awesome. Let's see. Carlo Castro says, well... looks like he found the link. Excellent. Let's see. Caesar Mac. Wow, his website is pretty nice. Gonna look through the tutorial section. Awesome. That's wonderful to hear. So sorry, you guys over on Facebook. Man, I was just not scrolling down. So I apologize for that. I saw the comment number start to tick up, and I was just like, wait a minute, what happened there? Let's see. I was looking at the Stein 2. Nice. Yeah, the Stein is a wonderful model. Wonderful model. So, hey, Futo Bayoi, thank you for making me look there on Facebook at the chat, or else I would have neglected those fine people over on Facebook. So thank you for that, man. Appreciate that. Thank you for the hookup. Let's see. The old Master Grade Zeta was a nightmare. Yes, it was. It was bad, you guys. Bad. Like Alex Master Grade bad. Ugh. Let's see. 01 Shield GP01 full burner was my first real grade and dropped it on concrete when going out to paint it. And I just got the Zeta 1.0 about 3 months ago. Sorry. Let's see. Bailey says, I like the proportions of the original Master Grade Zeta, but I also like the 2.0, and I'm glad to know it's a decent kit, transformation and all. One of those must-gets for me. Yeah, you know, I was lucky enough to have both versions, and I totally agree with you, Bailey. I liked the proportions on the 1.0, especially the legs, the lower legs, especially the curvy look, if you will. I liked that better than the angular look of, I guess, the original excuse me, the original line art and everything. But so from what I understand, Kotoki actually redesigned the Zeta for the 1.0 Master Grade, which wouldn't necessarily surprise me because it had a lot of nice little details and stuff like that that he likes to kind of smash in there. So yeah, no, I totally agree. The 2.0 was great in terms of transformation. The king of transformation, though, is still got to be the Zeta Plus. Hands down, solid transformation. Even to this day, even with it being like a decade old at this point, it's just 100% solid, 100%. So if you have not picked up the, Zeta Plus Master Grades, I highly recommend them. One of my favorite models of all time, obviously. Let's see. GamerBud says the Zeta was my first real grade. I had not heard about the troubles till after I bought it, so I wanted to build that one first. In my mind, get the worst one out of the way first. That's a very good kind of philosophy. Yeah. Let's see. 01 Shield. Good to know. I will convert it to my idea of a smaller hummingbird. I like that idea. Anything that has to do with hummingbirds, I like. Respect. Let's see. Robert LaFlash. We need a 2.0 of the Alex. Yes. I totally agree. And I'm not a big fan necessarily of 2.0s, especially if there's already really good first generation models. People are, calling for like 2.0 Camphors and 2.0 Easy 8s and the ground Gundams and stuff like that. No, man, no. Hard pass. No, no bueno. They are just already good. So just no. But the Alex and the Zeta, the Zeta already had a 2.0, but the Alex definitely needs a 2.0 because that was shit even when it came out. Whew. Let's see. Geez, you guys are going crazy fast in the chat. I can hardly keep up. Let's see. Drummer Dude, anyone know how the Master Grade RX 93 Vert K1100 is? I just snapped the high grade 144 together and really enjoyed it. Now I want to upgrade. It is, from what I've heard, amazing. It's probably the best iteration of, the new Gundam to date at this point. So if you do buy it, I don't think that you will be disappointed. So, food for thought. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's saying the Verka is very good. Let's see. Drummer Dude says, dope, thanks. I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to get the Sinanju Stein as well. Good call. I converted one of those into the Ozymandias, and I could not have been happier with how solid and nice that kit was. That engineering on that thing was just mwah. Let's see. Bailey says, I love the Zeta Plus 2. We'll do an A1 at some point. Caesar Mac, thank you for the subscribe there on the good old YouTubes. Appreciate that, buddy. Welcome to the family. But Bailey was saying, I love the Zeta Plus 2. We'll do an A1 at some point, maybe follow some of Josh's tricks from his book. Yeah, if you guys haven't picked that up, you can pay what you want on joshuadara.com. I don't know. Check out his Facebook page or something. I'm sure he has a link on there. But he takes it gives you a walkthrough of his entire kind of build process, whip photos, finalized photos of his really amazing Zeta Plus C1, and like I said, you can pay what you want for it. So from $1 all the way to whatever you want to pay, yeah, he has that on his website, and it is a solid pickup. Solid pickup. So definitely go check that out when you have time. Maybe not now. Keep your eye on the stream. But Caesar Mac at this... this is where the main chat is. Yeah, sort of. The Facebook is usually pretty quiet. Twitter, or Twitch, I should say. Twitch is usually pretty quiet. Most of the knuckleheads are over here on YouTube, chatting it up, having fun. So, yeah, either or. Doesn't matter. Wherever you want to be. So let's see, what else do we have here? 01 Shield says, I hear everyone talking about the real grade Zeta and wanted to see if I can conquer those nightmares. Anything can be conquered, even the nasty master grade Alex from back in the day. I've seen actually some really amazing conversions using that kit, and I've thought about it multiple times myself, but I don't know necessarily if I want to go down that road and spend a year or two messing with that, So, let's see. Yeah, it looks like things are broken on the good old shit. Man, I'm going to tell you what. Streamlabs OBS is getting frustrating because things are starting to break on it, and I don't like it. So, anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the chat, shall we? Caesar Mac, I really want to get a hold of the real grade Sazabi. Yeah, real grade, not necessarily my favorite line, but I've heard good things, Blue Flash 1982, so what? So no RX78-23.0 for you? Probably not. I like the Origin, actually. That whole design, I think, is probably more to my liking, quite frankly. Andrew Young, bro, serious question. You didn't answer me about the head on the Jesta back. Was that stock? Oh, sorry. Yes, that is. That's just part of the visor, the clear visor part. And yes, that is stock. I wish I could take credit for that, but no, that is stock. Drummer Dude says, one day I will be able to do some mods to my kit. I've only been building for about 6 months now and absolutely love the hobby. Already snapped about 15 kits now. Soon I will start painting. Well, that's awesome, dude. That's really good to hear. Man, keep watching. Learn from everybody. Let's see. Fuda Boy. God, I love that. Junie did this great build of 144 HGUC new that gives it the Verka look. It's in the December 2017 Hobby Japan. I might have that, actually. Or I might have that. I don't know. I can't keep track. Anyway, let's see. Good thing Gunpla can be that flexible. Yeah, true. GamerBud, Twitch lags too much for me, and I really don't really like Facebook, so having a YouTube option to watch the stream is just perfect. Yeah, you know, options everywhere. I like options. Robert LaFlash bought it. Gore 1 thing only to outer armor. You lost me, Robert. I'm sorry. You lost me. But I appreciate the comment. 01 Shield, Master Grade Alex might get it eventually. Dude, don't buy the original. I'm gonna warn you right now. Cyril Hottie is with us. Cyril says, yo. Thank you for watching, Cyril. Welcome back to us. Thank you for coming back on a Friday night or Saturday morning, whatever it may be for you. Let's see. Caesar Mac, Envy at 01 Shield. Cyril says, building my pair rider, simple straight build and posing just to relax from Gunpla burnout. Yeah, you know what? We've all felt that, man. We've all felt that. Drummer Dude, I honestly just need to stop buying kits for a little bit and start getting more tools and paints. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. You know, you build up your, your little backlog and everything, but then you take a time out on buying kits, because if you don't, you'll become a kit hoarder. And that is a sickness that I think probably most of us have gone through in our, hobbying careers, if you will. I know I've gone through it. I've purged the backlog, several years ago, and worked that down, sold it off, and man, just tools are where it's at, dude. So yeah, buy tools, buy paint, the good stuff. Save your money, buy the good stuff. Absolutely agree with that. Robert LaFlash got the Alex for the outer armor. Got it. Now I understand. And that's probably a good, excuse me, probably a good call. You know, it's good for, maybe swapping it onto another frame or something like that. That's, I've seen a lot of people do that. The Gundam Origin frame is a perfect example. They're roughly the same size. And, with a little bit of work, you could probably get it to look very, very nice, especially keeping the head, excuse me, of the Origin Gundam on there rather than that nasty looking kind of derpy head of the Master Grade Alex. It's just no good at all. GamerBud says, yeah, I need to stop getting kits too and get more tools and paints. I agree. Everybody should get more tools and paints. Tools and paints are where it's at. Bailey says, War in the Pocket was 89. We probably will get 2.0 for 30th anniversary next year. That's a good point. They love to do the anniversary shout outs to these things. This year, especially with Char's Counterattack, all of the Char's Counterattack models that we've gotten and everything like that, they just like to do that. It makes sense marketing wise and all. 01 Shield 40th anniversary Mr. Color lacquers are beautiful. Yes, they are. And, and I got my last 3 colors waiting for me. Yes. 4, 5, and 6 are, as we speak, sitting at the beautiful Gundam Kitchen in awesome Blackwood, New Jersey. And, yeah, man, if you guys aren't watching the Gundam Kitchen after dark, if you're in the States, of course, what they do is it's the only show that I know of here in the States that sells Gundam kits and things live on air. So it's kind of like the home shopping network for Gunpla. So they do it, I think, two Thursdays on, one Thursday off, and they just keep kind of going on that rotation. And man, it's a number one, it's a good watch because those guys are fun as hell. And man, pick up some great prices and everything there. IRAD, my boy, is awesome. Just look up the Gundam Kitchen on Facebook, Instagram. I think those are the two. I think those are the two. But yeah, it's a good time. They have an after dark, which is really good. They're them just kind of talking, shooting the shit, talking about Gunpla and stuff. It's a good time. So yeah, 01 Shield, the 40th anniversary colors are amazing. I love every single one of them. Caesar Mac, I need to buy scribes. I have a kit hoarding problem. Have a ton of AC kits and Warhammer 40K models everywhere. Yeah, dude, just, you know what? Start selling the things that you'll never build or that you just kind of are like, on. And that money will help you buy tools and paints and stuff and scribes and all that good stuff. Drummer Dude, haha, I'm addicted to snapping kits, but man, I want to get more tools and paints. Do it, dude. Do it. Save your pennies, do it. It's Robert LaFlash says it's going to be pieces for a heavy Jesta. I want to see that. That sounds amazing. 01 Shield have about 100 high grades snapped and 3 master grades snapped. Excellent. Excellent. 100 high grades. Wow. Blue Flash says, I'm working on my first custom. It's been fun so far. They always are, man. They always are. 01 Shield, maybe Alex is the new perfect grade coming. No. I found out what it is. I will not tell you because I've been sworn to secrecy. But I know what it is, and I guess you guys have to wait until December to find out. Or when Bandai lets the marketing loose. So let's see. Everybody said that would be very surprising if it was the Alex. I would welcome that, though, to be honest with you. Let's see. Keep it going. Futubayoi. I probably should find Gunpla Kitchen on Instagram. Yeah, you should. It's amazing. Love those guys. And if you look on, like I said, if you follow them on Facebook, which you definitely should, like I said, every Thursday they do the live show on Facebook. And you know what? You can basically buy Gunpla over the air. Just like, you know, on Home Shopping Network, QVC, whatever is your TV shopping of choice, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. Let's see. I think we will be better off not knowing what that perfect grade is. Probably. Robert Flash, it's the next project after I finish the resin conversion for the DOM. Cool. I want to see that, dude. Send me some pics. Jason PS3, wow, that's a disappointing look. You know, yeah. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of perfect grades anyway, so I could care less, to be honest with you. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, hey, Jason, thank you for watching, brother. Yours with us as well. Thank you for watching, buddy. I hope it's not a narrative Phoenix or some other rehash. Give me a perfect grade Barbatos. It could be interesting. Could be very interesting, obviously. Futubayoi says GVC TV. I like that. I do. Andrew Young. All right, I gotta go. I have to do college fun stuff. Catch my drift. LMAO. I'll watch later. Haha. You have fun, college boy. Caesar Mac, I want to kit bash my Deep Striker, but S Gundam legs are kind of ugly. I want to take the Mega Particle Cannon and undersling it. Whew. That's a seriously underslung cannon, man. And let's see. Cyril Hottie says, perfect grade new Gundam I want. That would be cool, too. That would be cool. Like I said, you guys are just going to have to wait until Bandai lets loose the marketing, or until December. So, let's get started now that it's 10:44. We've been talking, well, I was going over a book for a little bit, but then we've just been talking ever since. This is crazy. You guys are nuts. But I love every single one of you. Thank you for watching. All right, so let's see what we've accomplished. I got that here. Let's put this down here. What else? What else? What else? What else? We got some of this. Got some of that. Push this little thing here. Oh God, I've been working on so much here lately off stream. Okay, so let's get zoomed in. Whoop. There we go. So let's first start with the shoulder collar thingy here. Let's get focused on that. So originally I had scribed a box scribe in here, and after looking at it for a while, I didn't really like how it looked, right? So what I did was I just took 0.5 millimeter styrene sheet and just kind of cut it to roughly that shape, and then notched back about 1 millimeter or so from each side, and made it kind of like an accent, kind of beefed up armor panel, right? This I just glued a little bit earlier, so the glue is still kind of a mess, and I need to clean that up and all that good stuff. But once that's cleaned up, that'll actually look, I think, pretty nice, because the edges are slightly beveled a little bit, and then we will go in and I'll do a little bit of accent scribing, some notches maybe in the corners or something like that. I don't know. But I think that looks much better than the box scribes did before, right? Let's take a look at this little guy. Very simple, just a couple, well, 3 plastic strips, just a 6.3 millimeter, and then two 2 millimeter, and these are 1 millimeter thick. And what these are for the side inserts for this thing. So what we're going to do, let me put the collar on here so I can show you really quick what I mean. So this is going to kind of slide right there, and that's going to be a really cool kind of insert, and I'm going to glue it right onto the collar here, so I can just basically snap on the collar, put the 2 front and back armor pieces around it, and then it will just kind of float right there and seamlessly transition into the rest of the armor. Then we'll do the same thing here on the bottom, just kind of bring it down this angle, and then obviously I'll need to cut it and angle it down this way. There's going to be a little bit of surgery needed for the inner frame here, because I need to pull some of the plastic back a little bit. It sits a little high. You can kind of see how it protrudes probably about 3/4 millimeter there. And I'm not too happy with that look, so I'm going to have to shave some of that back a little bit so it sits down in that groove a little bit better, right? And then obviously we're going to have to angle it, cut and angle it that way as well. So that's kind of the first iteration of that insert that I've got planned, right? So the big thing, and let's get super zoom ready for this here right quick. Let's see. Get our box, get zoomed in, and so here is the kind of side, I don't know which side it's on, but the side kind of camera pod thing on the Jesta's head. And what I've done, obviously, is I've scribed around this circular detail, and it's still very raw. I've still got a ton of cleanup to do here, so excuse the mess, if you will. And scribed this box panel right here. Showed you the other, on the last stream, how I replaced this little guy here with a little wave square thruster there. So that still looks really good. But then this, there was a molded in 0.3 millimeter, just kind of, I don't know, almost like a line right there, right? So what I did was I kind of wrapped this all the way around to this side, and you can kind of see there where I just terminated that kind of right there, which is really, really nice. And actually, come to think about it, this line is not 0.3, this is actually 0.5, so half a millimeter. And excuse me, what I'm doing now is to add some detail strip on the top, and then add a little bit of beef down on the bottom of it. And as you can see here, I have kind of weighted it off to the front side, or the outside of the pod. And what I figure I'm going to do, since these original edges are beveled here, I'll backfill that in with some super glue or something like that, trim that flush, maybe put on some plastic strips over it to make it look like an addition or something like that. But I think that will look really quite nice once we're cleaned up with it, right? So what we're going to do is pull out a super zoom here, go back to 1, and get rid of the box. Okay, so obviously we've got a little bit of trimming to do with these plastic strips here, right? And so we're going to be working on that a little bit tonight. We're going to be working, bouncing back over to the head a little bit. Maybe work on, I don't know, maybe work on the body a little bit, detailing that up. We're just going to bounce around and kind of see and do what feels right, okay? So let's start with this piece first, because we need to do a little trimming with these strips and everything. So for this, I'm just going to use my little, NT cutter knife here, which has become actually one of my more favorite tools here, surprisingly. I didn't like this knife originally. I really didn't, but it's kind of grown on me, which is shocking because I'm a huge, huge advocate for the big old Alpha knives. And man, these are really great if you have no other option. But man, these NT cutters are just really quite nice. So we're going to use that because this is kind of this is a small strip here. This is just 0.5 millimeter thick by 2 millimeter wide strip. And what we're going to do is we're just going to actually, let's use the nippers first, just to snip off as much as we can, and then we'll trim this flush with the NT cutter blade here. And what we're going to do is we're going to sit the blade, the sharp end of the blade, right onto the surface of the strip, use that as a guide, and we're just going to slowly slice away that extra hangover material. And we're just going to go back and do that until you don't cut any. And I think we got it on the first pass. Yeah, look at that. So now that is completely flush and it looks good. So we'll do a little bit of sanding on that here momentarily just to finish it up and just to make it look nice and pretty. But let's get this other edge here too. We're just going to roughly cut the most, kind of get most of it off first. We're not going to try to flush it just out of the gate, but we want to get a bunch off there and then go back and just kind of slowly slice off the material until we get it nice and flush. And as you can see, we're just getting kind of little curls of plastic off here, and that's when you know you're really quite close. And there might be a need to fill in some gaps in here because it looks like the glue bubbled on me a little bit, and that happens. So we're probably going to need to putty that, maybe a little super glue, something like that, just to fill that in. But that overall, that looks really, really solid. And maybe a little bit here on this backside corner in this piece as well. All right, so last strip here that we need to trim up. Let's use the nippers one more time here just to get most of this off. There we go. And then we're going to trim this flush. pretty good. Get the material off there. And there we go. Now that's flush and looking quite nice. Looking quite nice. That's pretty much where I want to get it at this point. Excuse me. So now what we're going to do is, where is my flat file? Here we go. So this is just, you know, just a simple flat jeweler's file. Nothing crazy, right? So we're just going to give this a couple passes just to even everything out. And it definitely feels like it hardly even needs sanding at this point because they're very, very flush with one another. Very light sanding or filing. And you want to make sure it stays flat on the piece too, because you don't want it to wobble off and go weird on you. So yeah, those are good there. And then we'll just kind of do the same thing here on the top piece. And there I can feel a little bit more bite. So there was obviously a little bit more material there than I thought. But now that should look really, really good. Let's get super zoom in and show you the real deal here. Get really into it. So there's that. So you can see kind of how flush that is. I mean, you can't even see the seam on camera, really. Well, it's really, really good. And down here, you can see it a little bit. I think from looking at it, I think this strip right here is a little, just a hairline out of alignment with this strip. And that's not a problem because that's going to be on the inside. You're never really going to see that, but what we can do is just kind of just hack off just this corner here, and then your eye will never notice it. Just like that. Just kind of scrape that edge back a little bit. And then, there. Voila! Now it looks pretty flush. Easy peasy. And there's our little pod, a little head pod, whatever that thing is. I don't even know. So, let's backfill these edges here real quick, and then we'll set this off to the side. Let's get out a super zoom real quick so you guys can see exactly the process here real quick. Get back over here. Get back over here. All right. Oh, here we go. Okay, so like I said before, super glue, I'll be honest with you, has kind of become my go-to filler over putty and stuff because, man, it's just really great. It's nice and viscous, meaning that it will flow into corners and things a lot easier, and you don't have to worry about it lifting or anything because, man, it's freaking super glue, right? And trimming it and everything, it's just, man, it's like trimming plastic basically. It's got great density, similar to plastic, and man, you don't have to ever worry about it, which is really, really nice. So we're going to set this off to dry, let that glue cure over on the drying rack back there. So we're going to set that off there. All right, so let's work on this collar a little bit more, shall we? Because I think what I want to do now that we've kind of got the overall look on both sides, I want to start to try and tackle this middle part here, because this middle part has been bothering me ever since I kind of put this thing together. So let's see here. Let's, where's the back? Here it is. I want to try to get a feeling of what the neck and all that looks like before we kind of jump in and start tackling this thing. I'll try to push that down. Okay, so there's basically what it looks like when it's assembled, right? So this piece has a pretty good amount of space right in here that we can basically wrap stuff around, fill this area in with, you know, little details or something like that. And then underneath of, like underneath the chin, you can actually fit some things under there as well. I don't want to fit too much in there because I want to be mindful of, you know, how far the head goes down, and it comes down pretty far. You know, you could probably fit maybe some 0.5 millimeter strips or something like that in there, but you don't want to fit a ton of stuff under there. And quite frankly, I mean, it's already got some decent detail on the sides here. You can kind of see, you know, a little bit of a kind of a raised little detail right there, maybe to simulate a hose or something like that. But it's already got some decent detail on the sides. It's just right in the middle that's pretty sparse. I mean, it's just a plain surface right here, really. So what I think I'm going to focus on is this part right here, and then maybe this kind of inner kind of collar, if you will. So we're going to focus on both of those. But first, let me get the head pulled back off of here. We're going to put that off to the back so we do not disturb that, damage it in any way. And let's pull this collar off so we can focus on it. Put the body over here. And now we got to kind of get the brainstorming a little bit, right? So let's see. First thing we need to do, obviously, is scuff up the surface so we can start to draw on it, right? So let's get, that's not good sandpaper there. Where's my good stuff? Here we go. More the scuffing style sandpaper here. And we're just, like I said, we're just going to kind of scuff up the surface. You don't need a high grit for this. You just need to dull the surface sheen of, you know, kind of where you want to draw. Just so the pencil lead lays down a little bit easier. So it has something to grip to, really. Okay. After I'm done with this, we'll get caught up with the chat, because I know you guys are going hog wild over there right now. So, and I saw some new people pop in, so I want to say hi to everybody there. So now that looks good. All right, so let's get caught up with the chat, shall we? And let's go back to camera one for this, because I like to talk to you guys face to face, right? So let's see, what do we got here? What do we got? What do we got? Scroll back up. Let's see, man. Lots of people talking, lots of people coming in. Whoo, boy. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Wow, you guys are really talking a lot. Here we are. Okay. Fudobayogi says, I think I don't want to hear the Gunpla Rage stories after they say what the perfect grade is. He says, I'm a high grade builder, heavy. And Robert LaFlash says, yes, we are. Let's see. Yor says, high grades are too small for me. I love master grades, and I'm still patiently waiting for the rest of the titular 00 suits to be made into proper master grades. Yeah, that would be cool. I think those would be welcome, you know? I think so. I like 00. Bailey says, I found that planning scribing design is also planning plot plate additions too, and can go either way sometimes. Yeah, because you never know if you want to be additive or subtractive. Some pieces just won't take plating, you know? They just won't look good with extra material. And then some others just need it, you know? So, yeah, you kind of have to play that balancing act between plating and scribing. Now, mind you, that's not to say that if you plate, you can't scribe, but I'm just talking about, you know, singularly. All right, Caesar Max says, I like master grades best, but many of the kits I want are only available in high grade, like the Bay 8. Yeah, you know, it happens. It happens. One good thing about master grades is that you can convert a lot of them over to your favorite design. So, ideas. Let's see what here. Futu Baoyi says, yes, I plan for both when I scribe and plate myself. Good call. He says, I like the master grades that have open surfaces to detail. Me too, man. I like blank slates. Drummer Dude says, I'm ready to learn. Excellent. 01 Shield said resin 1100 are an option. That too, yeah, for converting. Fudu Baoyi says, oh, this is similar what I did to the top of the Airmaster's head. Excellent. The angles, yes. I love angles. GamerBud, wow, that was a nice feeling. I'm changing my Zaku F2000 to a standard Zaku and did not have a few ball joint pieces, so I went into my spare parts box, and have been building up since I started. Sweet. Had those parts sitting in there. Excellent. Yeah, I love spare parts, man. 01 Shield says, I have my polycaps in individual little bins for easier use. Good call. Good call. I save the polycap runners that still have polycaps on them, and I got like a stack of them behind me. So that's what I do. Bailey says, the feeling when you get the perfect alignment, super gluing styrene detail on one arm and then fail repeatedly to replicate on the other arm. Dude, I have been there. I feel your pain. Yours says, I try to keep my polycaps on their runners, but cut all other parts out and throw them in a bin. I do the same thing, dude. Same exact thing. Tim Kilborn is with us. He says, sorry I'm late, but I made it. Well, welcome, Timmy. Thanks for watching. Caesar Mac, you can toss some baking soda on super glue to give it more filling power. Yes, and I've done that before. It's not necessarily my favorite process, because I find that it makes it a little bit more brittle than it was originally, the original formulation. But, you know, I do have my little bottle of baby powder. Smells good. But yeah, that's an old school trick. So, baking soda on super glue, yeah, baby powder, cornstarch, all of the above. Yeah, those are old school techniques that I will use sometimes if the gap is pretty big. But for what we did here, super glue is perfect. Super glue is perfect. Like and also like on the Jesta head, where these little round indents are. I hated the look of those. Just filled them with super glue. That's all you got to do. Easy peasy. A few drops in, shave it, and sand it flush, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Let's see. 01 Shield. I need to save space so I don't keep anything on runners. Though that being said, I have a 27-gallon tote filled with runners to turn into pegs. Jesus, dude. 27-gallon tote is big, you guys. That's crazy. Caesar Mac, yeah. Nice. Drummer Dude, for fixing seam lines, should I use Tamiya extra thin, cement, or super glue? Caesar Mac, Bailey, both of those guys said cement first, and I agree. Use cement to meld the pieces. Super glue is not great on holding thin pieces together like this. Structurally, it will pop and snap and you'll be SOL. But when you're laminating thick pieces like this, like a plate on top of on another plate, that's perfect. That is the go-to adhesive for something like that. That's called lamination. While you can use Tamiya Extra Thin, the problem that you're going to run into is that the outside of the perimeter of that glue up is going to cure, and then the inside will remain soft over an extended period of time, simply because it doesn't have a way, excuse me, a way to get to the air to cure it properly. So, super glue is a good adhesive when you're laminating plates together like this. So FYI, that's what I use. But then also too, you know, I use super glue, like I said, to fill in teeny tiny little imperfections and things like that, gaps, stuff like that. If there's something to back it up with, because if not, it'll just drain right through, and then you're SOL again. So. But good call there, you guys. Caesar Mac, it will melt the plastic and fill it on the join line specifically. Yeah, and that's really what you're looking for. You want that melting action to cause some squeeze out, right? So here's your seam. You glue it together, and then you get a little squeeze out here, right? So you get the little ridge on your seam, and then that way you can come back with your hobby knife and just trim that squeeze out off, and then your seam line will be very, very close to being perfect. Sand it down smooth, sand it flush so you can't see it anymore, but then after that you're good to go. Yours says, I cut my runners down to fit in a storage better, I guess a storage bin, cut off any raised parts or segment them into shapes that look like they could be useful later. Excellent call. Drummer Dude says, so it makes a better bond than super glue. In some ways. Super glue, like I said, makes a better bond in some other ways. So yeah. Bailey says, and then super glue on top, if it needs more filling, add baking soda, cornstarch as a filler, just like we mentioned. True. Let's see, Caesar Mac, but for surface lines, I use a nice square edge of a hardened steel to scrape it. Yeah, you know, a hobby knife is perfect to scrape it. I use that as well. Baraka Saza is joining us. Mr. Sexy Bee Plamo Builder, and Iris is reporting in. Hello, Iris, and hello, Barak. Thank you for watching, you guys. Welcome back, as always. You guys are amazing people. Bailey says, with the cement melting the plastic, the two parts essentially merge into one. Excellent, yes. Yours says, cement will melt and bond the plastic, then evaporate away, whereas super glue is good for filler or if you need or don't mind extra stuff. Yeah. Caesar Mac said, wait, he said pencil lead. Yeah, pencil lead. Because I'm going to be drawing on the piece. That's all. Let's see. Awesome. So Drummer Dude got the advice that he needs. Thank you guys in the chat. You guys are awesome. Let's see. How do you fix top coat frosting? Good question. Usually what you can do is spray over it again. Like Bailey said, look at that. Bailey's with the amazing help as well. Spray it again. Because usually what frosting is like I guess that you're either in high humidity or something like that. But yeah, spray it again when there's not as severe environmental conditions as you sprayed in before. And then what that'll do is chemically it will settle that first coat, blend the two together, and then you should be good to go. If not, strip it and start over. Sorry about that. Kenneth Sim says, does Tim have OCD habits getting both sides of detail until matching? I do not have OCD. No, I don't. Getting both sides of details until matching. I'm not sure what you mean there, Kenneth. You kind of lost me. Sorry, buddy. Bailey says, sometimes the solvent in the top coat during respray can fix frosting. Yep, there we go. Caesar Mac, that was what I want to do with my Deep Striker to convert it to a crazy V8. Wow, okay. So the underslung thing. Whew, yeah. Yours says, try to prevent frosting or bubbling by spraying in proper conditions, humidity, heat, ventilation, and perfect balance of those three. Yeah, that's why I have a spray booth that's like right off camera. Let's see. Caesar Mac, yeah, top coating is a climate game. Yeah, big time. And, you know, I understand most people will probably not have access to an internal spray booth that, you know, some of us are lucky to have. You can make your own. There's DIY solutions to that. You can vent it out through a window or something, which is very convenient, which is actually something I used to do way back in the day. But yeah, those are all options. All options. Lenny's checking in with us. Lenny says, finally here, I was farming in Warframe. Such a beautiful game. I've not played that game, but I have seen the designs, and yes, I agree with you. That is pretty damn cool looking. So thank you for joining, Lenny. Yours says, I have to add retarder to most lacquers due to the heat and lack of humidity here where I live. Yeah, that can definitely be an issue. Let's see. Fudu Baoi says, I use Super Glue to fix scribe mistakes sometimes. Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect medium for filling in those little teeny tiny gaps. Yeah. The dust from sanding CA glue can become the filler too, if you get it at while it's curing. That's a good call. I don't know if I want to collect the dust from it though. It seems like a lot of work. Soldier BL, Johnny is over there on Twitch saying morning, evening. Hello there. Thanks for joining us, Johnny. Appreciate it, buddy. Gamer Bud says, Zaku unit assembled. Time for pictures, then back to the F2000. Nice. Tim Kilborn says, I like to mix squadron putty with thin glue, and it makes a good moldable paste that you can use for filling gaps or big seam lines. Yeah, that's a good call there too. Caesar Mac, drawing on the piece. I missed that part while I was typing. All good, dude. Bailey says, wait, where are you venting your spray booth now, Tim? Oh, good question. So, for those of you that don't know, my studio is in the basement. And let's see. Let's show you real quick. There's the spray booth right there, right? And so I have it vented up and out, and then there's basically the side of my house. I have a vent cut in the side of my house, all weather sealed in the whole 9 yards, and that actually vents out to the outside through a kind of like a dryer vent, like with the louvers and the flappers or whatever they're called. But yeah, so that when that bad boy is running, man, it's sounds like a plane is taking off. But yeah, so it vents to the outside. So yeah, fun times. But yeah, had to pay somebody to do that. But the good thing is that if I ever do have to move, then I can just plug the inside, and we don't even have to worry about it. So bada boom, bada bing. Robert LaFlash, what brand and model is that spray booth? That is a Harkins Level 2000. That is a self-made. I made that myself. And so let's take you back over here. So yeah, so there, let's get that level. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to hold the webcam while I'm talking to you here. So basically what I've got going on here, this is 3 feet wide by 2 feet tall. I've got 1, 2, 3 bathroom fans that basically exhaust 70 CFM per minute, so 70 cubic feet per minute. So totaled up, it's moving 210 cubic feet per minute out of that spray booth. And like I said, when all 3 of those fans are on, it's basically like a plane taking off. And then I've got kind of like a fluorescent light up here that turns on, and man, it just lights up. Obviously, I've painted the inside white so that light wouldn't, reflect and be nice and bright. And then have everything wired on the fans and the lights separately. And I have switches on the outer, this side over here, right? And then obviously I have it vented through the top and up through the drop ceiling of the studio down here and out the side of the house. So yeah, so that's a Harkins S2000 or whatever you want to call it. So, and then I've got, my little airbrush. I got the moisture trap hanging off the side over here, just kind of mounted to the side of the bench. Got the airbrush holders, got my mask hanging up over there on the side. All of my, there we go, kind of holding sticks right there. And there's my big Mama Gemma drying rack. That I also built. And I also built the bench here too. So all of this stuff that you see right here, all this, I built all that. I'm handy. I'm a handy guy. What can I say? And also too, this nice little these shelving units here. I built that too. So there we go. I built all that stuff. I made it. So anyway, good question. Barack Asaza, so pro that paint booth. When I grow up, I want to be like you with big boy toys. I'll tell Iris to make me one. Nice. I like that. Robert LaFlash says, nice. That's really good movement. Yeah, dude. When all three of these are kicking, like, it's so loud. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's give you a test. So, okay. So let's get you guys kind of looking over here, right? So let's set you down right here on the computer. Hopefully you guys don't fall. All right. So there. All right. So yeah. Okay. Hopefully you guys don't fall. I will try my best to make you not fall. All right. So, like I said, on the side here, they've got a couple switches here. One for the light, and then... So that's what it sounds like when the spray booth is on. Very loud. It's very loud, but that's okay. All right, let's get you guys mounted back into position, and you know what? Let's get back to work. We've been talking too much. Not that I don't enjoy it, mind you, but we need to get some work done. There are people that are wanting to learn stuff. There we go. All right. Anywho. Oh my, that was fun. Nice little excursion, right? Let's see. Bailey says, man, you probably don't even have to use a respirator for spraying lacquers. Probably still not a good idea, though. Actually, it's funny. I cheat sometimes, and I don't use a respirator, my paint mask and everything. So, yeah, I cheat sometimes. So I should always do that. I should always... no matter what, keep, my mask on. Should always do it, right? But sometimes I cheat. Barack Asaza says, my paint booth is tiny. The size matters. That Iris told him that. Oh, man, you know what? Tell Iris for me that it's not about the size. It's how you use your spray booth. You guys are awesome. Caesar Mac, what PSI do you run for your airbrush? It depends. Usually anywhere between 15 and 18 is kind of like the sweet spot. For primers, I might bump it up to 20, but not much higher than that. If you need to bump it up higher than that, then you need to thin your paints and primers more. Now, what I also should say is that I run a siphon feed. not a gravity feed for most of the work that I do. So that does require a bit higher PSI to siphon the paint out of the jar. So that's just my personal preference. Most people like gravity feeds better. I particularly like siphon feeds better. I can clean it much faster and swap colors super quick. So that's kind of what I learned on as my first airbrush. So I do have a gravity feed though. I bought that that little Neo. That's a pretty decent little airbrush. Alfred Ton over there on Facebook says, "Hey Tim, what's the best PSI to airbrush at?" I just answered that. Yeah, great questions back and forth. Awesome. But no, Alfred. So about 15 to 18. You know, sometimes if you need it, bump it up to 20. But usually, you know, you want to keep it a little bit lower, and man, just thin your paints down. Make sure they're about the consistency between skim milk and regular milk. So, yep. Let's see. Yeah, PSI, and you know, that's a great point, Bailey. PSI also depends on kind of what you're spraying to. So for primers, yeah, like I said, sometimes I will bump that up. So let's see, Self-Made Man from Johnny over on Twitch. Thank you, buddy. Robert LaFlash, easiest way to get what you want is to build it yourself. Yeah, absolutely, and it's cheaper that way too. You know, because like each one of those fans cost I think around $30–40 US, and you know, all the MDF was cheap. I mean, I bought a sheet, so it was like $30. So right there, you're in it for what, 30, 90, so about $110 just to start off with, and then the fixtures, the lighting, and things like that, maybe another 25 or 30. So you're looking at about $150. And obviously I painted it. So, I mean, I spent about $175 for that spray booth. Now, like I said, that spray booth is 3 feet wide, 2 feet tall, 2 feet deep. You will never, ever find a spray booth that big with that much air movement for $175, $150, $175. So it was a great investment. I would probably change some things in the design if I had to do it again, but I'm happy with it. You know, I'm real happy with it. So it can handle a ton of stuff. You know, so yeah, there we go. Let's see. Oh, I guess it wasn't that loud over the mic, but trust me, it's pretty loud. Yeah, variable pressure for different tasks. Barack says, I told her, she say that is true, but she prefers a bigger one. You know, we all need big spray booths in our lives, I guess, right? You guys are great. Soldier BL, Johnny over there on Twitch says, depends on the nozzle of the airbrush and the type of paint. Yeah, you know, the nozzle does play a part in it. I think especially when running on a gravity feed. I think it probably has more to do, you know, with the pressure on a gravity feed than it does on a siphon feed, simply because you're already pumping a lot of air through a siphon feed simply to cause the paint to come up into the airbrush anyway. So I've not had to adjust my pressure much when I switch down to a 0.3. I usually run a 0.5 for most things. But when I do switch down occasionally, yeah, it does come into play where I have to, you know, just alter the settings just a teeny little bit. But for most of it, it's not much different, really. So Bailey says, wow, siphon feed, behind the scenes secrets. Yeah, it's just what I use, man. It's just what I use. Let's see. Robert LaFlash, Iwata. Yeah. The Neo is Iwata. I also my siphon feed is it's an older Eclipse model, HPCS, I think it is. But yeah, I mean, I've had that thing for damn near 20 years, and original everything. Original O-rings, original plating, every single thing except for the nozzle and the needle, which obviously wear out at a much faster rate than the actual airbrush body does. Caesar Mac, so I need to thin my paints because I'm running at 35 to 45. Yeah, dude, you definitely do need to thin those paints quite a bit if you need to run 35 to 45. That's crazy high. Wow. Yeah. What paints are you using, Caesar? What brand of paints? Because I think that's probably good. Maybe good to know as well. So let us know in the comments there. Bailey says the Neo is okay. Have had to tinker with mine quite a bit. Now it's just on primer and top coat duty. My ammo Air Cobra does the base coating, pre-shading, highlighting. Nice. I'm an Iwata guy. I just like him. Quality shit. Drummer Dude, I've never painted before. Do I save and get a good airbrush, or should I practice with rattle cans first? Maybe do a model or two with rattle cans, just to kind of get the overall feel of spraying, right? Kind of my progression through the beginning when I started painting. I hand painted first with just brush and paint, right? And with like dollar store paint, like crap paint from like Michael's and stuff like that, like craft store shit. Just terrible, right? Worst ever. And then, hardware store primer, hardware store clear coat, all that. And then, penned my panel lines in, with the teeny tiny little markers that you get from craft stores and stuff. It just terrible. But it taught me good techniques for excuse me, future use, right? And then I kind of progressed into spray painting a little bit, and did that for like a model or two, and then just kind of went for the whole shebang. Got a cheap little piston, one piston compressor, no tank or anything like that, and just an inexpensive airbrush. I think my first airbrush was a Badger Crescendo that I got at the local craft store for like $45. I had no idea what I was doing. Tutorials at that time were basically non-existent. YouTube was like at the time. So yeah, I just kind of had to learn, through the school of hard knocks, really. So yeah, I would definitely try some rattle cans first. Get the feel of it, but it's all on what you want to do. Yeah. Let's see. Bailey says, yeah, I thin a lot, run 15 to 20 at most, 8 to 10 for pre-shading. So yeah, good call there. Michael Gilchrist, skip the rattle cans. Yeah, everybody's got a different opinion. Just do what you feel comfortable with, man. If you feel like jumping into the airbrush thing, if you feel like that is something that you want to, pursue and really, just go full bore on, do it. Pull the trigger. Go buy an airbrush and a compressor, man. Whatever floats your boat, dude. This is modeling. You could always use it for something else down the line. You could use it to decorate cakes or something if you're not into modeling or whatever. I don't know. Maybe girlfriend can do nails with it. I don't know. Shit. But yeah, everybody does their own thing. Caesar Mac, been strictly brush painting, so I'm new to the airbrush. That makes sense then. What other point of reference do you have at that point? Just hand brushing. But that's a good place to start out with. Robert LaFlash, I run Alclad at 20 PSI. Really? Wow. I think it feels high for Alclad. Maybe some of the other some of the other finishes for Alclad. Maybe. Let's see. Yor says 40 PSI is getting to the point where you can damage your airbrush. Yeah, it's getting pretty up there. Let's see, Caesar Mac. I used some Windex to thin, but apparently not enough. Yeah. If you're what paints are you using, Caesar? That's what I want to know. It sounds like you may be using like Tamiya or something. Oh, Citadel. Okay. That could be the reason why. Citadel paints are usually, from what I understand, pretty damn thick. So yeah. Yeah, definitely thin it down more. It should be around the point of like milk. It's like skim milk. If it's any thicker than that, man, thin it more. You know what I mean? Yours says Windex can add a blue color. Recommends 70 to 91% isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, that's probably a good one too. Although the Windex will probably have a bit of kind of flow improving qualities to it. So test it out and see what works. You know, if you don't get the tinge of the blue, maybe stick with it. I don't know, but definitely test it out. You know, if worst comes to worst, you can add flow improver from another company. So I think, what is it, Vallejo, I think, makes flow improver. I've never had to purchase it or use it myself, so I don't know. So, but that's an option. That's an option. Or or you could go straight lacquers and go Mr. Hobby or something like that, or Tamiya, and mix in some Mr. Leveling Thinner, which is great magical stuff, and then your paint will be like bulletproof. Just my 2 cents. Bailey says I'm a Wada 2, my original HPC I've had for 15 years. Yeah, they're quality, man. They are like tanks. Those Eclipses, man, they're great. Just water for Citadel paints or an airbrush thinner, Vallejo, even Liquitex from an art store. Yeah, Liquitex makes decent stuff. Let's see, Drummer Dude. Decisions. Maybe I will rather can some of my cheaper models. Practice spraying is a good idea. Plus, I really want to paint. So yeah, dude, just whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever floats your boat. Barack says I had an Iwata 2, a Revolution CR, and HP CH, and I just love it. Sweet. I just did my research. I guess on the airbrushes. Yeah, nice. Edwin RSA, I just go from rattle can, jump deep into airbrush with the rattle can paint poured, now using the good paints on the airbrush. Awesome. 01 Shield says, check paint on plastic for tips on spray cans and hand brushing. That's a good call, too. Yeah, some of those have, will definitely have tips on there. Yeah, good. Robert LaFlash says, do not buy a master brand airbrush. Yeah, Bailey says he disagrees. I've never used one. I know my friend Brax, aka the Gundam Nerd on Instagram, uses a master airbrush. He gets pretty good results with it. I think master brand airbrushes might be hit and miss, especially when it comes to quality. So I think you might be rolling the dice. But again, if you're just getting into it, it might be a good introduction. Good cheap introduction to using an airbrush. Food for thought. But you do run the chances of getting a shitty airbrush. Let's see. The primer is like 15. Everything else is high, especially on their clears. Oh, on all clad. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. 20 psi for all clad. Wow. This is from Tim Kilborn over there on YouTube. I stay around 10 to 14 maybe. Yeah, I kind of do the same. I kind of never really have to adjust the pressure on my compressor. Bailey says my compressor and tank is master. Works great. The airbrushes are not high quality, but they work. 01 Shield, I run a $22 master airbrush with 12 to 15 psi. Yeah. Tim Kilborn also says a good starter airbrush can be found from Harbor Freight. Yeah, that's a good call. I still use mine for priming. And Barack Asaza says, I just saved my money for a good line because I learned that the airbrush is like the girls. No girls are the same, and each time you date one, you have to from zero. I know you lost me on that last one, bro. I'm sorry, buddy. Fudabayoyi says leveling thinner is awesome, dude. It is like magic. I'm telling you. Yours says I use Vallejo Flow Improver. It works great with all paints I use with it. Cool. Robert LaFlash says, where did it go? I lost my place. Damn it. Mr. Leveling Thinner is great. Yes, it is. It's the best, man. Bailey says, exactly. Start cheap, especially with the compressor, and then upgrade to a nicer airbrush, Badger Patriot, Iwata Eclipse, etc. Yeah, absolutely. 01 Shield, I kind of like hand painting more than airbrushing at the moment. You know, and some people are like that. If you guys know When I'm On, Paint Pusher on Facebook, he does not know how to airbrush. He only hand brushes. That's it. Hand brush with a paintbrush. That's it. That's all he does. He does not airbrush. I will say it again. He does not know how to airbrush. We've talked about it many times before. He's intimidated by airbrushing. So, for those of you guys that do enjoy hand brushing, there you go. I mean, GBWC World Champion and then second place runner-up the year after. I mean, he's doing something right. Let's see. Rabbit Flash, I just had my brand new master compressor explode. Yeesh. Caesar Mac, lacquer in the future. Tons of acrylic to burn through. Futo Baoyi says Link has a bunch of good hand painting tutorials to check out. Yes. Lincoln Wright. What is it? Paint on Plastic, the YouTube channel. Check him out. He's good, people. He's been on Gunpla Talk before. Very good guy. Knows his shit left, back, forward, and center, every which way you can think of. And he hand paints. Man, he's really, really good. Yeah, definitely check Lincoln right out. Paint on Plastic is the YouTube channel. Also, he's got a his Facebook page, his Instagram, the whole 9 yards. Patreon, he does some stuff for. So, yeah, check him out. Definitely a good suggestion. Thank you. Futubeoi. Bailey, message TCP Global. They will send you a new compressor, no questions asked. There you go, Robert. Barack Saza. So, for me, make no sense to buy a cheap one, I guess compressor, just to learn, because when you buy the one you like, you must learn how to use it again. Yeah, it could be different. That's probably a good call. Yeah. Let's see. Yours says, I would buy a Master G23 because it has a cutaway handle that costs less for the whole G23 than for a single Iwata part. Yeah, it can be expensive. But again, Iwatas are like tanks, especially the Eclipses. Caesar Mac, I have a Pash Talon for my first airbrush. Interesting. Pash is a good brand. 01 Shield hot tip, Mr. Color leveling thinner does not work with Tamiya primer. Tamiya thinner. Oh, leveling thinner. Okay, because you misspelled that. Gotcha. Yeah, you know, I probably wouldn't necessarily use the Tamiya primer. You know, like that, like out of the bottle, I'd probably use the rattle can, but that's just me. I personally like Mr. Surfacer 1000, maybe 1500 if in a pinch, or 1200. But yeah, Mr. Surfacer 1000 is what I really like and use. So either that or just go rattle can with the Tamiya primer. The Tamiya primers in the can are so nice too. If I ran out of Mr. Surfacer, I would absolutely use Tamiya Fine in a can and have zero issues with it, honestly. Let's see. Robert LaFlash, he gets some great finishes with hand brush. Yeah, when I'm on paint pusher. Yeah. GamerBud, I'll probably only hand paint. It is all I've ever done in the past with other artwork, so it's more natural to me. Johnny Soldier BL over there on Twitch says, and Paint Pusher does not need to airbrush. He hand paints very good. Yeah, he does. He's amazing. He is really amazing. Bailey says, to me, a primer in the bottle is just their putty thinned down with lacquer. Interesting. I don't use it, so I don't know. Robert LaFlash sent it back to Amazon, got a full refund, and have a new Iwata compressor on order. Nice. Futo Bayoi says, Sierra Masuo, the Gunpla Love builder, also hand paints his models. Yeah, there's still a few people out there that do just strictly hand paint. I kind of use all three myself. I sometimes use rattle can, airbrush, and hand brush. Just depends on what I'm going for. Yeah, there you go. Let's see what else is going on Facebook here. Black Lotus is over there. Johnny, this video would explain the nozzles. Oh, okay, cool. Freddie Torres bought a Master Airbrush just for shits and giggles. Nothing compared to Iwata Eclipse. Freddie, thank you for watching, buddy. I love your balls, by the way. If you guys aren't following those Gundam guys on Facebook and on Instagram, Freddie is one of those Gundam guys, and he just finished a really cool model with these two little Haros firing this big cannon, and they're kind of they look like, you know, they're just little balls kind of hanging, you know, underneath the cannon and everything, and they're really cool. It's a funny looking model, but Freddie's a very talented modeler as well. So Freddie was wrong. Go follow him wherever he may be. Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. He's very talented. It's worth a follow. Let's see. 01 Shield. Switching to all-clad and Mr. Surfacer when I run out of the 6 Tamiya bottles I have white and gray Tamiya Fine Surface primer cans. Yeah, those are both really good. I would not hesitate to use both of those. Freddie says, ha 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 ha. Yeah, dude, it's so good. It's classic. Bailey says, the Iwata compressors are nice but overpriced. I had a Sprint jet back in the day, but gave it to a friend. Air is air. As long as you have a moisture trap, it's no different. Yeah, I have a dual piston Sparmax with a little itty bitty tank on it. And man, that's lasted me for a very good number of years, probably 12, 15 years at this point, and it's still running strong. I will sometimes forget that it's on, and I'll come down the next day and it's still churning away, just, you know, kind of every now and then filling that tank on me. So yeah, Sparmax, man, really good. Really good. Let's see. Soldier BL, Johnny over there. LOL, that Dio with the balls is hilarious. Yes, it is. What would have been probably also hilarious to see is that Kawaguchi was there to judge that competition. So I would have loved to have been just a fly on the wall and see that. Would have been amazing. Yeah, would have been amazing. Would have been amazing. So let's see what else. Yeah, I want something that has a tank and is quiet. Yeah. Most airbrush compressors are usually pretty quiet. So. Barack Saza, I mean the two Haros and the gun there. Yeah, that was funny. Bailey says, where did you get the Sparmax? I thought that was Australia market only. I don't think it well, if it is now, it didn't used to be. Because I think I got it from, it was an airbrush store here in the States, and they were a very prominent airbrush store down in Louisiana, and this was years and years ago. Yeah, I don't forget I don't remember the name of the place. If I, God, if I had to look, I might be able to find it, but I honestly, I don't remember the name of the place. Mind you, Bailey, this was like 12, 15 years ago, so shit, I had no idea. But again, damn thing's quality. I can't complain at this point, you know. Caesar Mac, I bought an air horn tank to hook up to my compressor to control my output better. Yeah, dude, get a pressure regulator too. Most airbrush compressors come with a regulator, so that'll help as well. Bailey says, never mind, Spray Gunner has them. Ah, okay, there we go. But also, you know what? Spray Gunner carries a lot of exotic items, though. I mean, they carry the whole line of, you know, Mr. Hobby. Yes, Bailey, thank you. Dixie Art. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, way back in the day, they had the shitty website with the crocodile on it and the weird bohemian artwork at the top. That's all I remember of it. I couldn't remember the damn name of it, but yes, Dixie Art. That was the website I got it off of. Way back in the day. Way back in the day. So shit, I'm surprised you remember that, dude. That's crazy. How did you remember that? You must have a better memory than I do, man. Damn. Are they still running? Wow, I didn't know that. Shit, I'll have to check them out then. Yours says, I had a 6-gallon, 150 PSI Porter cable compressor that I use for work, loud as can be, but it stays charged for a long time. Yeah, dude, I can imagine those pancake, well, that 6 gallons is probably not a pancake compressor, but still, those Porter cable ones are nasty when it comes to decibel rating. So, but they do a hell of a job, I'll tell you that much right now. I've got a little pancake compressor over here, just a shitty cheap one from Home Depot that I run my pressure pot off of for resin casting and everything. Bailey says the website is still terrible though. Why does that not surprise me? I'm not surprised at that at all. Not one iota. Let's check in with over on here on Facebook. Freddie was wrong on Instagram too. Kawaguchi told me. Oh, this is from Freddie, you guys. The one with the balls. Kawaguchi told me the idea was very interesting, quote unquote. Oh shit, dude, Freddie, I would have loved to seen the look on the Gooch's face, man. Holy shit, his proper looking self. Wow, oh man, I would have loved that. Okay, Caesar Max says I have a relieving regulator and 2 water traps and a Pash inline trap. Wow, you might be over trapping stuff. Do you still get water in that 3rd trap or even the 2nd trap? Because honestly, if you don't, man, that's probably where most of your air pressure is going. Now that I think about it. 3 traps. Shit, dude. Let's think about this for a while. I have 1 moisture trap on mine. And I maybe have to drain it every few years. And there's hardly anything in it. Let's put it that way, right? So I'm almost wondering if those traps aren't cutting down your airflow. Huh. Keep the pressure regulator on there, but 2 water traps and then the inline trap. I mean, shit, that for me, I mean, that just sounds like overkill. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've only ever run 1 moisture trap on my setup, and I've never had any any issues at all. And yours says, I have never had a drop of water in my trap. I run my compressor at 60 psi, then a midline regulator at 15 to 25 psi, which connects to my airbrush hose. Yeah, that works. What I do is I have the pressure regulator is right off the tank on my compressor, and that's where I set the pressure, obviously, and then that goes to the moisture trap, and then that goes to my airbrush. So Barack says, I live in Panama, 34C and 99% humidity. I only use one moisture trap. So there you go. You know, there you go. So yeah, Caesar, man, what I would do is maybe take out, you know, 2 of those moisture traps and see where your pressure's at, man. You know, once you take out both of those pressure trap or those pressure or those water traps, you know what I mean? So, interesting. It's cool. Good thing you said that. Man, look at this, you guys. We're troubleshooting on the fly here on the stream. That's awesome. So yeah. I mean, just on the next stream, let us know how it works, man. Because I think that might be where you're getting, you know, pressure drop off. Yeah. And Bailey says, yeah, humid ass summers here in North Carolina. One moisture trap does get water, but no issues with my setup. Yeah, I mean that's what the moisture traps are there for, man, to trap water. And if they get filled up for some unimaginable reason, that release button at the bottom just drains the water right out. So yeah. Drummer Dude says, dang, airbrushes are expensive. The wife ain't gonna be happy with me. Yeah. Some of them are less expensive. You know, you could get, like I said, the Iwata Neo for about, what, 40, 50 bucks on Amazon, which isn't really all that expensive. And then, like the guys said before, Master airbrushes, Harbor Freight airbrushes, and compressors are also, you know, reasonably priced. You're obviously not going to get the quality that you will for kind of a name brand, but it's a place to start, you know, and then you can kind of save your pennies and, you know, upgrade when you have that opportunity. Think about that. You know, Soldier BL, Johnny over there on Twitch says, I have a small 105E Sparmax compressor, no tank on it, and after more than 30 minutes, it heats up, and the pressure regulator alone does not handle humidity alone. From time to time, I had water going to the airbrush. Oh, wow. Bailey says 50-60, but I say start with a good compressor and cheapo G22 master set, then upgrade. Yeah, definitely another way to go. Absolutely. Barack Asaza says, and don't use the thin tube, always bend and affect pressure. Yes, that's a very good point, actually. A lot of these cheapo airbrushes and even some of the air compressors will come with the spiraled coil looking you know, rubber, you know, hoses and stuff. As soon as you get those, throw those in the trash. Get you a good braided airbrush hose, and just never look back. Just throw those coiled things in the garbage. They're shit. So that's a very good call, Barack. Very good call. Soldier BL, Johnny, I have to add a water trap and or tank to solve the problem and de-stress the compressor. Yeah, you know, when that compressor's running the whole time, it does put a good amount of heat and stress on those parts. So those don't last nearly as long as something with a tank. So that's a good call too. Drummer Dude, 50-60 ain't too bad, but would it be a good idea to just get a good setup? It's all in what you want to do, really. You know, if you've got the money to go full bore, and if it doesn't get you in trouble with the wife, then I say, you know, jump into it if that's what you want to do, if that's what you feel comfortable with. If, you know, if you're going to catch flack from the wife, then it's, you know, you have to balance those issues out. You know what I mean? And only you can do that, man. We can't tell you what to do on that point. Let's see. Bailey says, I meant the Neo for Iwata is going 50 to 60 these days. Oh, so it's a little jumped up a little bit then. Okay. About $10 or so. It is what it is. Master Combo set runs about 90 to 100 on Amazon Prime. That's from Bailey on YouTube. 01 Shield says, yeah, cheap combos come with them. Mine didn't come with an adapter to use, but ordered a nice hose for it when I was just starting out. Yeah, absolutely. 01 Shield also says, I have a crush on the MiG Cobra. Nice. Let's see here. What's Facebook got to say? I bet that's let's see. Is that? Oh yeah, Freddie. Freddie says I caught him laughing at it during judging. That's awesome. I would have loved to, like I said, been a fly on the wall or seen footage of that. The one and only Kawaguchi, you know, laughing his ass off at, you know, that entry. It would have been great. It would have been stellar. Oh, man. Barack Asasa says, also, those thin rubberish tubes don't have good insulation and tend to accumulate water in it. Yeah, that's very true. I didn't even think about that with temperature changes because of the pressure. Yeah, because when air is pressurized, it does cool down, and then when it shoots out of that compressor, you've got the cold meeting the warmer outside air, and yes, that will potentially make condensation on both sides of that airbrush hose. So that's a very good point. Very good point. Jesus, you guys, it's already midnight, and I've talked to you like almost the whole night rather than doing work here. Let's get some work done, shall we? Boom. Let's get back over to this, and let's kind of just do some brainstorming here, and then we'll kind of call it a night, shall we? I know we're having a good time and all, good conversation. Lots of you are here tonight, which is very, very, I'm very happy to see that. Usually Fridays are slow, but man, you guys are on here and kicking, man. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's see what we want to do with this thing. Now, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, but not necessarily fleshed out just yet. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of play. There's a notch right here molded in, just right there's a corner, there's a corner. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some lines off of that. Now these won't necessarily be panel lines. These will probably be strips of plastic, something like that. And let's see. Hey Freddie, are you guys in Arizona right now? Are you out there with them? Because I know I saw the table setup out there. Those Gundam guys are out in Phoenix, I think. And yeah, I saw the table. I didn't know if are you out there with them? I don't even know if you're still watching, honestly. You might not be watching. Well, shit. Oh well. If you're watching, answer in the chat. All right, so I'm going to bring these two lines down just kind of straight, right? And that'll kind of be the basis for the look of this thing. And what I think I might want to do is just have those maybe 2 millimeter thick. Just like that. Just have two strips of plastic wrapping around this thing, and then let's see, maybe something in here like this, and that might be bisected a little bit. We're gonna do that, and then maybe get get something over here to complement this angle. And I'll show you guys what I'm drawing here in a minute. Just want to kind of get my ideas fleshed out here, right? And I'm just kind of talking through it, just so there's no dead air, because that sucks, right? Let's see here. Maybe we'll add some circular little details up here, maybe some rivets or something. All right, so let's get in super zoom on this thing. Oh, did Freddie? Let's see. Couldn't get the day off today. Oh, that sucks. It's just Clem, Angel, and Tex is there. Wow, so just the three of them. Okay. Yeah, I saw on Tex's Instagram that she's out there. And I saw those Gundam guys' Facebook page about the table and everything, so I didn't know who exactly was out there. So very cool. Let's check in with what you guys are talking about over here on YouTube and Twitch. Bailey says, to be honest, the part you have to consider with airbrushing is the space for the compressor and ventilation. I recommend a spray booth, homemade or generic, Chinese booth on eBay, Amazon, TCP Global, wherever. Yeah. I mean, it is really space dependent. Soldier BL, Johnny over there on Twitch, the wife factor in our hobby can make it or break it. Yeah, dude, that is very true. He says, I'm fortunate enough that gives me a free hand. Maybe I don't always tell her the prices. Don't ask, don't tell policy. Yeah, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, you order what you want, and it's better to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission, I always say. Drummer dude, I start my new job at Boeing in a few weeks, so saving won't be much of an issue. That's awesome, dude. Boeing, yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Caesar Mac, drawing on the model is blowing my mind right now. Never thought of to try that. Oh yeah, dude, I do it all the time. Because you know you gotta plan out, you know, the mods, the modifications that you're doing, or the panel lines and stuff like that. It's easier to do it right on the piece. Like I said, you just have to scuff up the surface a little bit so that the you know, the pencil lead sticks to it a little bit better. That's all. Bailey says, and I'll say it right now, airbrushing is not as intimidating, as complicated as it looks. With practice, most can get the hang of it. Absolutely. Bailey says, haha, the wife factor, haha, I like it, and I agree 100%. Yeah, dude. Drummer dude, all right, gotta go. Just got off work and gotta drive home. Thanks for all the advice, Tim, and chat. Means a lot. Take care, dude. Drive safely. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, man. Freddie over there on Facebook says, yeah, 8 of us went to Phoenix for IPMS Nationals. Yeah, I remember you guys went out there and you were drunk messaging me here on stream. I remember that. That was fun. Because you guys were on there too, it seemed. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. All right, so let's get super zoomed in here, and I'll kind of show you my little brainstorming that I went with here on this piece. And let's see here. So we'll start just kind of with the top. Let's kind of try to get the light on it. I mean, you can kind of see the lines coming up, and then just the little circles that I drew on either side. So that's going to be kind of what the top looks like. But let's see if we can get the front maybe in a little bit of light so you can kind of see. Let's see. There we go. It's out of focus. Shit. I don't know. You might be able to see that a little bit. There we go. I think that might be a happy medium right there. So 2 strips, 2mm strips coming down here and here, just kind of wrapping and strapping around that. Maybe some shorter inserts. These will probably be 1mm thick. The inserts in here maybe ½ mil, maybe 1/4 millimeter. And like I said, maybe you can see that. The piece in here will probably be bisected a little bit, so that'll be interesting. Maybe some angled parts in there and stuff, and then just some kind of outward pieces over here just to complement the overall shape and everything on here too. So I like so far what that looks like, and yeah, I think that's the design that we'll go with. But that's not necessarily the design that we will go with right now, because it's getting late, and we surpassed our 2 hours here, people. Let's check in with everybody, see where everybody is. Let's see what we got going on here right now. Let's see. An effing tiger. He says, "Hey, man, glad to finally catch a stream." Awesome, dude. Well, welcome. Thanks for watching. We are about to finish up, though, so you kind of caught it at the tail end. But man, just rewind it, and you'll see the rest of it. Most of it was talking tonight. We were just having conversations and stuff, so we were having a good time, helping Caesar with his airbrush problem, showing you my airbrush booth here over on the side, the whole nine, talking about how shitty real grades are and everything. Let's get back to one camera, and we'll finish this bad boy out here tonight. Classic me. Oh, an effing tiger. That's a good. I like that name too, by the way. That's funny. Let's see. Let's get caught up here. Edwin RSA. Me and my friends have a few mottos for the hobby. Regret buying rather than regret not buying. Don't go alone to the store. Ask your friends to come along with you. It's probably good advice, yeah. 01 Shield says, the joints on the real grade Zeta are kind of awesome, kind of enjoying just bending them. Interesting. Soldier BL, Johnny over there says, have a nice evening, Tim. Awesome. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching as always, Johnny. Man, you're always in here just, having fun with us. That's really cool. Yes, no, actually, Johnny, I haven't forgotten about the streaming setup yet, and I don't want to necessarily give that out just yet, because I am about to make a purchase for a new mount for the main camera, and I want to test that out beforehand, because that could actually be a pretty big game changer for everything. Because let me show you just real quick what the setup looks like and kind of how tedious it is. Woo! See, look, okay, so there's the main camera. The tripod is sitting right there on smack dab on my desk, right? So this is the area that you guys see me work in overhead, and here's the tripod. It's just right there, just in the way all the time. And honestly, it's getting to be a pain in the ass. So there's this product on Amazon that I want to get and try, and I should have that hopefully by the next stream. So fingers crossed, obviously, especially with the holiday here in the States on Monday. So you never know what shipping is going to look like, and with holidays and all that shit. So we'll see. But yeah, dude, I definitely will set up, I'll set it up on the little Amazon thing, so you can kind of get ideas and stuff like that, so it's kind of there for posterity and everything and all that good stuff. And I'll list out the software and all that good stuff for you too. So I have not forgot about it. Have not forgot about it one bit. Not one bit. Let's see. Caesar Mac, well, this was very fun to discuss. I will pursue the tutorials and try those fixes. Awesome. Thank you, Caesar. That sounds like a plan, man. Tell us how that goes next stream, dude. I want to hear about it. Barack Asaz, I enjoy every minute of your show. Really, dude, I enjoy you guys watching this show. That's awesome, man. It makes me feel good, right? Gamer Bud, those joints are great until they break. Womp womp. Be careful. Soldier BL, Johnny says, damn, I wasn't expecting that tripod there. Yeah, I have a floating shelf up here on the wall, so it's a tough setup. And I've got the computer on this side, got my shelving on this side, so there's not room to fit anything kind of between that and all that stuff. So it's a little tough to fit kind of an overhead thing in there. But hopefully this rig that I see on Amazon that I'm gonna get will fix all those problems for me. So we'll see next week, right? Barack says, and I am fortunate that my wife like and support me in this hobby. It's a hobby that you can do in your home, near her where she can watch. That's awesome. Yeah, and if she wants to join in that too, you know, watch shout out to Mecha live stream and all that. Shout out to Iris. Hi, Iris. That's awesome. Let's see. Robert LaFlash. Great timing. Just finished priming the arms on the Dom conversion. Sweet. Fudabaoe. Been fun. We'll try to catch the next one. I always seem to get the message you're streaming too late, whether I see it pop up on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, dude, you know, subscribe and all that good stuff, and then you'll get the notice and everything. So, Soldier BL, 1 or 2 displays on the PC. Just one on this one, because this one in the studio is strictly kind of a beater computer. It's my older computer rig that I've just recently replaced, so it does have a little bit of power in it, but it's not necessarily, I wouldn't be heartbroken if it just kind of crapped out on me. So I'm not trying to make crap out, but if it does, I can fix it. It's not a big deal. I build all my computers, so no, it's got a little bit of power, but it's old. That's the thing. This I bought, I want to say probably 9 years ago. Yeah, and it's got the original motherboard, original processor in it, and it's got the original RAM in it, but I have replaced the graphics card, and it's got it's got SSDs, the whole 9 yards in it at this point. So specs, oh man, now you're killing me with this. It's, oh god, what is it? It's an i7. Oh, I'm trying to remember. It was so long ago. You know what? I'll get it. I'll get it for you. I don't want to necessarily look it up and just kind of take away from the stream right now at this point, obviously with being on air and everything. But I definitely will get it for you. It's still got a little bit of power. I mean, obviously it can run what we need to run here on the stream, and it helps me watch streaming movies and TV shows online and everything while I'm working off stream, obviously. So I mean, it's got a little bit of power to it. It could still run Premiere and everything like that reliably. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but it works. You know, let's put it that way. So, but I'll get that all for you. Yeah, I mean, you got to consider though, it's a 2011 i7, so it's got some age to it. It's definitely got some age to it, and I think it's only a quad core at this point. Yeah, I think all the ones during that time were probably maxing out at quad core. I don't think 6-core, 8-core had even been thought of at that point yet, or if they were super expensive. So. Yeah, but I'll write all this stuff down for you. I'll post it up on the on my website and everything, and I'll make sure you guys are able to see it. And then for like the setup and everything, the lights and all that, because I've got a few lights around the studio to light everything. I'll get those listed because I bought all that stuff on Amazon, and I'll get that listed on there for you so you can find it real super easy. So but all right, guys. So let's finish this one out because it is super late. Well, not super late, but it's getting there. Guys, donate to the Gunpla Talk giveaway, fundraiser and everything. Win this Astray perfect grade red frame. One lucky donor will win that very model. And it's open to everybody around the world. Anybody can donate. Singapore, I'm sorry, but there's a limitation on GoFundMe that does set up some roadblocks and everything like that. So if you do live in Singapore and if you want to participate and you want to donate, contact one of us at Gunpla Talk or the Gunpla Talk Facebook page directly, and we'll try to help you out as best as we can. All right. But yeah, one lucky winner will win that model. It goes to a great charity, the National Alopecia Areata Foundation. And if you're not in a position to donate, give us a share, shall we? Spread the word. The more people know, the more money that we can contribute to this awesome charity. Okay. Also, too, represent the Reapers, man. Oh, wrong sleeve. Shit. Annapolis. All right, good. You can get this on the Child of Mecha Facebook page. English is hard. Hit up childofmecha.com and hit the store. You'll be able to purchase this shirt, other shirts as well. All the tools that you saw me work with tonight, which wasn't a lot because we didn't spend a lot of time working tonight. You can find those on the Amazon link just underneath, on YouTube and on Facebook, just a little bit here on Twitch and everything. And, oh, programming note, no stream on Monday. No stream. I'm taking the day off, guys. It's Labor Day here in the U.S. It's a national holiday, so we've got a 3-day weekend coming up, and I am going to enjoy my day off. So, no stream on Monday. We will be back here same time next Wednesday, and then we'll be on again Friday. So only 2 streams next week. 2 streams. Sorry, guys, but 2 streams. That's it. All right? So, boys, with that being said, have an awesome weekend. If you're in the States, have a wonderful Labor Day and a 3-day weekend. Hopefully you're safe. And we will see you back here on Wednesday. So, good night, guys. Thank you for watching. Be safe. Bye, guys.